So that transition then. So I know in the military, I saw people transition, have a hard time with that transition as I was getting near the end and picking my head up and figuring out that next chapter in life, which was writing for me. I had that passion since I was a little kid, and I combined that mission of taking care of my family with my passion for writing. And then I went straight ahead, just dove in. And I saw a lot of people that had a hard time finding that next passion, finding that next mission as they went from one stage of life to the next. And for me, I recognized, hey, it's important to build off this foundation. And it doesn't have to be special operations. It doesn't have to be the NFL. It can be anything in life. You're going to have transitions, and you're going to have death of a loved one. You're going to have a divorce. You're going to have job transition, whether it's you're fired or you decide to take a risk and do something new. You're going to have to maybe move cities, whatever it is. Like, there's going to be transitions in life regardless, and you're going to get hit. You're going to get knocked down. That's just a part of the whole deal. So what I saw was that guys had a hard time in the military um, moving on. And what I noticed was oftentimes they tried to recreate what they had in the military on the outside. They tried to recreate those feelings, not necessarily like, hey, I'm going to be part of a team that's going into the heart of Baghdad or Ramadi in the middle of the night to grab some high value target out of his bed in the middle of the night, drag him back for interrogation, and then go hit another target. Not like that, but the feelings associated with that, another team. And I recognize that, hey, no matter what this transition is in life, like, it's moving forward, and you have to be moving that ball forward. It's going to be different as you turn the page. It's not going to be the exact same thing that you just experienced here. So acknowledging that, I thought was powerful, and is powerful for people making any transition. So for you, and as I was getting near the end there, I got to meet a few people in professional sports. Now that I'm here in Park City, I see a lot of Olympic athletes that also at some point have to make that transition. So how was that for you when you decided? When did you know it was time to leave the NFL? And then as you transitioned, when did you realize that you were going to find this next passion? You already had this passion inside you, but when could you articulate it and focus on it and say, okay, here it is. Here's my next mission in life. My mission and my passion are now coincided. I'm going to do this Best Defense Foundation, and I'm moving this ball forward. And how did that work?
Yeah, well, my last few years, I got hurt. My 13th year, I tore my quad, and it was a tough year in Kansas City, 08 or 09 it was. Tore my quad. I think we went 4-12 that year, and we had a big coaching change and things like that. And so I was on the injured list. And after sitting out a year on the injured list with a torn quad, there was no way mentally to go back after 14 years and being able to play 30 years of football.
That's a good run.
Linebacker.
Yeah, that's a good run.
Yeah, it's not quarterback.
That's no joke.
It's not kicker. It's not Adam Vinatieri.
You're actually working.
Well, he's working too, but it's a different position. It's a linebacker, man. We initiate contact. Nice. And having this conversation with my wife and say, look, I'm relatively healthy right now. If I go back, there's risk involved, and it's like, do I, anyway, so I decided after sitting out, and I tell you, I was going to go to the Raiders. I was going to go to Raiders for my 15th year, and we were working on a contract, and I just had to make a U-turn and not go through with it. I just realized, like, no, because once you get it out of your head, like you said, like, everything is a mindset, right? So once you get out of your head and you said, like, I'm done. And there's no way you can go back into the battle, to the field and play half-assed. You have to give everything to it. And I decided it's time. And it was a good run. I'm relatively healthy, and on to the next thing in my life. And honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. When I was playing, I was doing TV. I was doing NFL Network. I had a TV show with Tony Gonzalez called The Locker Room Show in Kansas City. And I was doing the NFL Network Total Access show. On the side, I was a sideline reporter for the playoffs, because every year we never made the playoffs. But I thought I was going to go down that path. But honestly, when I got done, Jack, I just decided, I want to just be done. 30 years of football. I never had a summer. Every August I was putting the football helmet on and running full speed into someone bigger than me, for 30 straight years since I was 7 years old. and never really had a summer, never had a winter, never went to the mountains. I mean, like all this stuff, never went skiing, never did all this stuff. So for me, it was time for me just to get away. My first year, I didn't watch anything. I just traveled. My wife and I just traveled and didn't watch. I mean, I think I watched maybe one or two games that year, just to pull back. I just wanted a fresh start and started to, think about what my next step was. And I really wasn't into doing TV. I didn't want to be an analyst in football. I just said, there's more to life that I want to do. I mean, I've been so pigeonholed for football. I want to like spread my wings and check out other things and other hobbies and, and just dabble into other things. And at the time, I mean, since 2006, I've been taking World War II veterans back to their battlefields.
Oh, you've been doing that before on your own? Okay.
Yeah, way before. When I was playing football, I used to have all these guys come to the games and have them honored at halftime. All the time, Medal of Honor recipients and, just enlisted guys and just, a lot of guys. I want to make sure that we highlight them and recognize them. And just a chance conversation. I was doing living history and we're bringing a bunch of World War II veterans to, this one, they're in their 80s to our events. And a lot of them talked about going back to the battlefield. I'm like, you want to go back? They're like, absolutely. I'm like, why don't you go back? They said, I'm too old. I don't have any money. I can't afford it. I don't know what to do. And I said, I'll take you. They said, really? I said, yeah. I said, as long as this doesn't, not during the football season, I'll take you. And the other veteran was like, hey, I want to go too. And I'm like, you guys want to go? They're like, absolutely, I want to go back. And the third guy was like, hey, you taking those two guys? I want to go too. So long story short, back in 2005 or 2006, with some of my guys in my unit, we took 4 or 5 World War II veterans back to the battlefield. We went to Normandy, went to France, went to Holland, and they did a big ceremony, big parade. And this is a big eye opener for me. So, and I saw the impact that it had for these guys, these veterans, and what it meant to them. And I said, more of these guys need to see this and get this recognition, this respect, and just have the love and just have, it's just incredible. It's very different when you're occupied and you have people coming from a whole different country that don't speak the language and come and liberate you, and when those liberators come back to the country that they liberated, the civilians there, they come out in the droves. I mean, it is amazing to see. And every year since then, we brought veterans back, and I was helping out. So after retired, I was helping out some other groups to bring veterans back. So I was always doing it. And I mean, some years I was spending 6 months overseas doing all these programs because these veterans, they all wanted to go back. I want to make sure that in their lifetime they can have this opportunity. So and then my wife is the one who says, hey, you're doing all this stuff for everybody else. Why don't you consolidate a team and do it for yourself? So we repurposed Best Defense Foundation because it's been the Best Defense Foundation since 2000. But we repurposed it to inner city kids to more just focus on our military veterans and their families. And we repurposed it and had a new, and built a team, have our mission, and surrounded with good quality people, all volunteers. We're all volunteers at the foundation right now. And, just try to pressing forward. And in 2019, we did 6 programs, taking veterans back to their battlefields from the top of Mount Suribachi in Iwo Jima to Saipan, Tinian, Guam, Normandy, Holland, Germany, Belgium, and Pearl Harbor. I mean, it was wonderful. And I'm really happy that we got an opportunity to take back some of the veterans back for the first time. Guys like Russell Pickett, who was recognized and honored in front of the world at the 75th commemoration of D-Day at the cemetery by President Donald Trump at the time. It was so special for him. And to go back to where he got blown up on the beach, in Omaha Beach, he was one of the first wave Omaha Beach guys, and he got blown up. To go back there and to give him an opportunity to have that closure was so important. And unfortunately, Russell Pickett passed away 6 months after that program to Normandy, and his family was just saying, like, thank you so much, because it meant the world to him to finally have that, to close that book. And I get goosebumps right now thinking about it, because I can't wait for you to come on program with us, because you'll see the impact that it has and what it means to these old warriors. Even myself, when, for yourself, like guys who joined the service, the military today, always look back to the past, right? And see what our what the older generation did. And that inspires all of us in the next generation to press forward. You think about what they did and what they went through. It really motivates and pushes you. Like I said, it's that mindset. If they did it, I mean, if they did it, you think like, godly, it pushes you and it motivates you. And I always think about that. So I always relate a lot of it to the military to push me as I could, as I go through my life.